Congratulations, obviously, on the award win yesterday.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really surprising.
It must feel pretty awesome.
No, it's great, yeah.
So I actually met you a couple of years ago at a table read of Little Woods.
Oh, really? The one...
it was Sundance hosted.
Right? Or no, the one in Lower Manhattan.
Lower Manhattan, I think Sundance hosted it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, really cool to see the script fully evolved and produced and finalized and now winning awards. I'm sure it was quite a journey.
Yeah.
So what labs did this script go through exactly?
Oh wow. So we started at I started at the Screenwriters Lab in 2015, then did the Directors Lab that same year. And then there was a producer summit Sundance did that I also went to that year. And then we did Catalyst, which is how we kind of fundraised half of our funds. We got private equity that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were in the edit, we did. I went to Skywalker and did the sound design and composing lab. And then I think that's it for this particular film and project. But they were really supportive. They were so supportive of the movie and of me.
So that must have been a hustle in itself, just getting into all those labs. And
yeah.
Do you attribute that to just having a very cohesive script that you were pretty proud to send out?
I mean, to be honest, when I applied for the Screenwriters Lab, I always thought this is a very Sundance-y movie. I should apply to this, but never expecting that I would get in because I had a friend at the time who also applied, and she was like, "Well, we're not going to get in because they don't know us, so we should just apply anyway." I'm like, "Okay, cool," and then I got in, and it was really because I really believe in the story, and I really wanted the workshop atmosphere and the help that was offered at the Sundance Screenwriters Lab, but I had really no expectation of getting in. And so then after that, and after becoming a part of the Sundance family, and then being offered the opportunity to apply to the Director's Lab and all these other things, it is kind of a hustle, but it's also they're so supportive and they really walk you through everything that it just feels like you're being supported.
Sure. So can you talk a little bit more about that mentorship and how the script evolved along the way, or what you got out of it? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing that I got out of my relationship with Sundance, there's so many things. I've had an unambiguously positive experience with Sundance Institute, and they've not only helped me with this project, but just helped me become a better filmmaker. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing I think for this script in particular was really honing in on the central relationship of the story, which was between these two sisters, which was always there, but there were a lot of other characters and distractions and things happening, and I think through the refining process of going through the Screenwriters Lab, Director's Lab, getting notes from people at the Institute, I was able to really make it the best script that it could possibly be before I went to go shoot it. And then, they let me come to Catalyst and pitch to 40 investors to hopefully get money, and I did. So, they've been instrumental.
So that was kind of the main step in your fundraising process, that Sundance gave you this opportunity to pitch it to all the investors?
Yeah, I mean, they did bring us out. I was a Time Warner Fellow with the movie, which is attached to Sundance and the Time Warner Foundation. So that was the first thing that happened in, I think, January of 2016. And then Catalyst was in September of that year. So, they've always been there. I reached out and said, "Hey, I need help with this," and they've always tried to help when they can. But our big fundraising push, when we got all of our money, basically, was from Catalyst, and that was the impetus for it.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's a very beautiful, relatable story.
Thank you.
So, what were maybe your references for the script or the finalized movie, and were there any plays that you used as inspiration?
So the biggest inspiration was a place, and that was of Northwest North Dakota, in particular Williston, North Dakota. That's where a lot of my research started. That's where, sorry, there's a garbage truck outside my window. That's really where it all started, with this town, doing a ton of research there, figuring out what was going on with the oil boom, because I already knew what kind of story I wanted to tell about women in a rural area, about healthcare and access to Planned Parenthood services or abortion, and but this town in particular was so fascinating. And then I went there, was able to visit not just Williston, but Tioga, Montford City, and other similar urban towns in the area. So that was really awesome, and that really inspired the feel of the movie and the specifics of this place. I also, in terms of look, I really wanted this film not to just feel like shaky cam, indie, low budget movie. I really wanted it to have a specific style and feeling. So that I was influenced by like a lot of things, like a lot of random things. So like one was this: I love 70s filmmaking. Those are the films that made me want to be a filmmaker. So looking at like Dog Day Afternoon or The Conversation, or just like really any Lumet or Coppola movies. The Godfather was randomly a huge reference for my cinematographer and I.
Cool.
Not just in terms of blocking or staging, but also in terms of lighting and not being afraid of underlighting and underexposure and just having everything come from character as opposed to trying to have a cool shot or anything like that. And then zooms. I love zooms. And like I feel like it's an underutilized sort of filmmaking tool, so I wanted to use that as well. And then color was another thing that I was thinking about a lot, and I really admire the way filmmakers like Steve McQueen and his cinematographer Sean Bobbitt, how they kind of have these very sort of limited palettes, but with these really beautiful muted highlights. And so that's something that I wanted to go for in this film as well. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it definitely had a very naturalistic look and kind of a unique mood that pervaded the whole film. So that's cool to hear about your intentions.
Great.
So how about exploring a subject that you may not be familiar with? How did your research and I guess emotional connection to the story help you take ownership of the subject?
So I mean, for me, when I write because I want to learn and I want to empathize and I want to connect. And so, and the impetus of the story was kind of analyzing my relative privilege of being a woman who lives in New York City. I did not grow up well off at all, but I lived in a place where I could still go to a hospital really easily, or I could go to a Planned Parenthood or to any like women's health clinic really easily. I can hop on a train and be there in 20 minutes. And being poor here is a lot easier in ways than being poor in a rural part of America. So me kind of connecting with that filled me with this sort of sadness that I wanted to explore, and so I really wanted to be specific about sort of the gendered experience of poverty in rural areas, how women have it harder than men because of a lot of things, but in part because we just don't care as much on a national level about women's health care. We just don't connect with it as much. So I wanted to make sure to shine a light on that. I think that was really my way in, was understanding my relative privilege, but also wanting to expose lives unlike my own.
And when you went to research these towns, did you just kind of drive around, try to meet local characters? Did you actually interview anyone, or what was that experience like?
It was great. So before I went, I knew a friend of mine had a friend who lived there, and so I interviewed her before I was even able to go out there, and we started trying to connect with the women's clinic that was in the town and other people. But really, when we landed in North Dakota, or we drove in from Winnipeg, but when we got to Williston, we had one interview and we left with 10. We met so many people who were willing to tell us their stories, who brought us into their homes, like one woman named Beth, who was amazing. She drove us around to all the oil rigs, and she took us to other towns, and it was like a really wonderful experience, because the whole point of my movie, or me wanting to make this movie in terms of process, was connection and creating, those like moments of empathy and then connectedness, and we were able to experience that in the research of the film. So it was really great. And then I got to tell people the story, and they would tell me, oh, actually that's pretty tame compared to what's actually happening, So yeah, it was like a really good experience in that way. But it was a mix of like driving around a lot, taking a lot of pictures, meeting a ton of people, interviewing a ton of people. Yeah,
well, it felt like a very lived-in world. There were a lot of nice character beats, like the nearsighted abortion lady, or the Tessa commenting on the construction workers' relationships. So this was kind of, it sounds like a mix of, it sounds like you were writing what you know, but emotionally rather than literally with this project.
That's my big thing with writing what you know. I used to take it very literally, like, okay, I guess I need to write about like a black millennial living in Brooklyn, but I think it's more about writing what you know emotionally, and there's so many of my emotional relationships in the film, and I think that's what makes things universal. It's like writing what you know emotionally, because we often feel the same things, and then setting in a world that I wanted to connect with and wanted other people to connect with.
So what are some of the important things you learned from this process in terms of, you said you went into writing wanting to learn about experiences that are kind of foreign to you. So what were like the biggest takeaways?
Oh man, I think one of the biggest things is that there's this whole part of America that is underserved, but also sort of highly politicized, underserved, and completely dehumanized at the same time. While I think the political conversation is very like bombastic, and it's very it has no human connection, and I didn't understand, I think, initially just how underserved these communities were, and also how ignored they were on a human level, but over talked about on a political level. If that makes any sense. Yeah,
totally. So you wanted to make a story that really humanized it on an individual level.
Yes, 100%. And then I also I didn't really know much about the oil boom that was happening and the fracking boom. Like, again, very political. I consider myself a progressive, but fracking is so demonized, obviously, because it's bad for the environment. But at the same time, it's a whole industry that people rely on. And it's an industry that's, in America, has been changing the world's oil map, which then gets you to OPEC and all these other huge things. But on the human level, you have these towns that are created like the old Wild West, which is 2-to-1 men to women. Crime is rising, opioid addiction, which is another part of the film. All these things are happening, and I didn't know that these ecosystems were so specifically alive right now. So that was a huge thing. But yeah, I think for me, again, the biggest thing was just on a human level going there and meeting people and recognizing myself in ways in the people I met, but also understanding how different the world was.
Sure, yeah. Your film is a microcosm for a lot of bigger issues. So how about working with your actors? You had some very experienced actors, and they, Lily James and Tessa Thompson felt like real sisters. What was the rapport like between them and between you?
Oh, it was great. Tessa and I knew each other from the director's lab, and it was there that I asked her to be in the movie, and she immediately said yes, which was amazing. And so we've been good friends since then. And then Lily, we cast her during prep, and it was just really luck that she, had the time to read the script and fell in love with it and wanted to work with us and be in it. But in terms of building that relationship, part of the reason why I cast the two of them is because they both have this openness and this natural empathy in themselves as humans, and I think with two people like that across from each other, it's so easy for them to connect and to feel like they have a history together. And then we also got to rehearse a bit, which is really important to me coming from theater. We got to rehearse a bit and during prep, which I think was really important. But at the end of the day, I think they're really great actors and really brought it to the roles and really became those characters. So I think that was probably the biggest thing. They were just really, really great.
Was there a lot of improvisation on set?
Yeah, so this is I'm not always super into improv. I'm half and half. But this is the movie where I knew that I would want them to kind of feel the lines and go with God, I guess, and just go where they felt certain lines to go, or take scenes in certain places. I was very open to improv. Not a ton of it ended up in the movie, but there are moments which are just, offhand. Badge is great at improv. He has a lot of great little lines that we threw in there. Mm-hmm. The kid, Charlie Ray Reid, he's amazing at improv. He's so good. He was I'd be okay, Charlie, we're gonna say this line instead. Can you say that instead? He's okay, and he'll just do it. Or I change someone else's line, and he'd know how to respond accordingly. So he was amazing.
Wow.
But yeah, I just wanted everyone to feel these are your lives. This is a lived-in world. This is a life that you've lived for the entirety of yours. So feel free to own it.
Yeah, cool. And what about the collaboration with all the producers? There's like 20 producers.
Yeah. So my two producers are Rachael, Fung, and Gabrielle, Nadig, and they were the ones who were on the ground every day from script phase. They came in at different times, but they were both involved well before production and before we had money. And they are amazing. They're just like incredibly competent women and incredibly talented, and we're passionate about the story. So we all work together really well. And then I have like my big EPs, like Tim Headington and Leah Buman. Leah is amazing. She's such a supportive executive producer, and she was a great creative support and voice on the film, as was Brian Kavanaugh-Jones, who we met at Catalyst, and he became part of the project and a part of our family, which was wonderful. And then through Catalyst, we met all these creative investors who have EP credits and were so available to us to watch cuts, to give input. Like, I honestly had an amazing time with them. So they just seem like there are a ton of producers, but I have like my two who were like on the ground, and then the two EPs who were like really leading the charge, and then everyone else who was there able to not only like invest in the film, but also give their creative input, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. This must have been, a staggering jump from whatever scale of projects you'd worked on before, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically, yes. It was definitely a big jump, but again, because my producers were so wonderful, it didn't feel like it. I think I had one day in prep where I was supremely overwhelmed, and then after that, I think things just fell into place, and I mean, they were incredibly stressed. I mean, it's stressful making a movie, but they really made it a manageable experience for me. And so, because of that, we actually had a lot of fun making this movie. Sure.
And what about your collaboration with Brian McOmber?
Oh, Brian's great. So Brian is obviously an amazing composer, and he co-composed this score with Malcolm Parsons. And they just have amazing musical minds and are incredibly talented. And with Brian, our initial conversations, because I knew Brian first before I met Malcolm, but Brian and I, we initially talked about like making it very specific to the place and time. We didn't want it to feel too hokey or too, sort of stereotypically indie, like Midwest, like country or whatever. We wanted to be emotional as well, and then subjective to the characters. And so we started talking about instruments. I was like, well, I really like cello, and I like the banjo. And so we saw if that could work. And then while we were doing the score with him and Malcolm, we brought on Megan Courier, who is an amazing music supervisor. And she was like, what about lap steel? And what about all these songs that we've done in the film just being female voices? And so it was a great collaboration of me being very specific about what I wanted, and them having just the creativity and the brilliance to support that, and for us to have a conversation that ended up creating this really great musical line to the movie.
Yeah, cool. And was there a particular sequence that was the most difficult to shoot, or something that really gave you hell on production?
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That beautiful pickup truck that Ollie drives broke down like halfway through the shoot, and we had so many driving shots, we had a mechanic there all the time trying to fix the car. Like, we'd have to wait between setups to redo a driving shot. Like, it was really a pain in the ass. So that would have been probably the most, for me at least, in terms of shooting, the most difficult thing. And then I think from script to screen, I had to rewrite the sequence of with the cop and at the sort of pit stop bar while Deb's at the boys' cabin, because we ended up only having one night to shoot it. And it was like, okay, how are we going to shoot this entire sort of 15-minute sequence, cutting sequence, in a night? So I had to rewrite that, but it ended up being great, and
yeah, it worked. So what about way back when you decided to do your master's? What about your experience? You went to NYU Film School, right?
Yeah.
So what about your experience there made you kind of decide that you wanted to study writing?
I think NYU is an amazing place that for like technicians and for directors, being able to shoot on film on 16 and 35, which is amazing. But I've been a writer my entire life, and I didn't feel like I had amazing writing teachers there, but I really wanted more, and I wanted to learn more, not just about like how to write script and how to format it, but also like how to write drama and dramatic action, and just like really go into it more, because at the end of the day, the script is not just like a selling document or a way to get actors, it's also like the blueprint for your movie. So I decided to get my master's in writing, and going to the UK was huge for me, because I didn't want to get a master's and stay in the States. I also wanted like an abroad experience. So I went there, and I ended up doing a lot of theater and doing film as well, but theater was really where I learned about dramatic action and tension and dialogue and character in a big way, besides what was already intuitive for me, but in a way that was, sort of more studied and craft focused. And then I also got to work with actors, which is a huge thing that I feel like a lot of, especially at NYU, you don't get as much. I think a lot of directors don't necessarily learn before they are on a set. So that was amazing. And that's sort of, I think, why I wasn't too frightened of doing my first feature.
Right. And would you equate kind of writing with directing when you're kind of an emerging filmmaker these days? As, I guess, especially... Yeah, as a first-time director, do you have to write for yourself in order to get opportunities?
No, not necessarily. I think it is much easier, for sure. But I don't think you necessarily have to be a writer as well to get your first thing made, I think. But then at the same time, I think if you're a writer and you're just a writer, you find a producer, someone who's actually really good and can actually make your work, stand on its feet and get it produced. And I think if you're just a director, you need to find a great writer.
Sure.
And also a producer. I think everyone needs a producer who's amazing, because nothing gets made without them, so that's the biggest thing. But yeah, for me personally, writing and directing is always intertwined.
Yeah, I guess I just mean in the sense of you deciding to pursue writing wholeheartedly after your undergrad education. It seems like it really, helped bring things together for your creative understanding of, your voice, I guess.
No, yeah, 100%. That was huge for me. But I think that for me personally, because I've always been a writer, and I kind of went a little farther from that when I was at NYU.
What kind of writing did you do when you were younger?
When I was 6, I thought I was going to be a poet, so that was a big thing for me. And then I would write a lot of prose. And I think before I knew that one could, like, what the parts of film were, like the technicians in film, who those people were, I was, writing prose and poetry, but once I got into film, I was like, oh, cool, like, I want to do this thing. Do I have to be an actor? Like, am I an actor? And so I was, like, trying to act for a bit, I guess. And then my mom, when I was, like, 15 or 16, she was like, oh, no, you want to be a director, because I don't think acting's your thing. And that's sort of how I got into the actual writing and directing of film.
Got it. So what do you want to write next? Is this going to be another story that is kind of foreign to you and something you want to learn about?
Yeah, actually. Well, I have 2 projects in development right now, which are very different from Little Woods. One is a 1920 set musical adaptation of Jane Austen's Persuasion, which I'm doing for BBC Films.
Oh, cool.
And that was a lot of that's because I love Jane Austen, but also the 1920s in Soho, London is a hugely diverse, dynamic, interesting, sort of avant-garde, forward-thinking place, and I don't think it was explored that much in terms of its like diversity and how enigmatic it was. So that's a big learning thing for me. And I'm also doing a sci-fi space thriller, which is sort of like Alien without the alien.
Oh wow!
And it's like a murder mystery on a spaceship. 5 people on a ship. One is murdered. The others have to figure out who amongst them did it. So,
right. So finally,
very different.
Yeah, an opportunity finally to explore the marginalized space characters that you haven't really met in real life.
Exactly.
That's
Although,
great.
I will say, I think the commonality is that they're all about people having to make living like kind of in extremes or like on the edges of society. The Soho club scene where the musical set was very like black and queer and sort of people whose lives and choices and bodies weren't allowed to be in the mainstream. And then, space, it's like you're in the middle of nowhere. You're on the frontier.
Sure. Yeah, and I think both of those formats too, the kind of for lack of a better word, alien nature of those formats, will kind of help as a Trojan horse for whatever issues I'm sure you're going to confront in them too.
100%, yeah.
Connecting it into the current climate.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how you do it.
Me too.
And one last question that I always ask: what would be your advice for new filmmakers, or that you would have given yourself earlier in your career, or wish you'd gotten?
That's good. Find a great producer, and just write. If you're a writer, just write, and apply for everything, literally everything.
Right. And, just write for yourself, or try to put your writing out there as much as possible, or just everything?
I think, write and trying to get yourself out there as much as possible, which kind of connects with the finding a great producer thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think trying to get your work made is really important. And I think, I personally found making shorts prohibitively expensive, which is why I don't have many to show for myself. But theater, for example, was an amazing space for me to put something out, because you're like, okay, here's a space, here are actors, and it's a little bit easier. So just find a way to get your work up, I think, is the most important thing. Yeah,
and it sounds like you've found some great creative allies, so that's come true for you.
Yeah, no, it's been great working with them.
Okay, great.